Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the ground for a little bit, sit on the ground for a little bit until I can find a much better place to stick this up. I did want to start off with an update, and then I'm gonna go into a little bit more about the subconscious trauma and why our infant years are probably one of the most formative years of our childhood and really our lives. Tomorrow is a huge stepping stone for me. I am moving into my own. I mean, it's not really my own place, but it is my own place that I'm paying rent for. And this is huge. This is big. Um, see Bella behind me, my dad's cat. Um, this is huge for me. This is a first. I feel a lot better now that I went there. You know, I'm still not really sure what to expect. Um, but I will try to continue making these videos. Um, Although, depending on the circumstances, unless I am home alone, I probably will do it from my car from now on while I'm at work or out, not there. But then again, it all depends on the circumstances and what it's like, because it's definitely going to be an adjustment period. I'm not really sure what to expect. Again, this is the first time I've done anything like this before. I mean, it's not the first time that I've moved, but it's the first time that I've moved by myself without anybody else, living on my own, technically, not completely, but technically. Um, and with that, I also am thinking about transferring. I tried to transfer to one location today. I'm not going to say where I'm from, but I tried to transfer to one location today, and they didn't need me because their hours were full, their schedules were full. And then I'm going to try another place tomorrow, which is a little bit closer than that store, which is, although it's a very busy location, it's right over by a big football field. Um, sorry. I'm gonna be seeing it's over by a stadium, and we get a lot of people in and out there, so it's probably gonna be very busy, especially during the football season. So I am looking forward to that, and we'll see what happens with that. Um, and this video, I want to talk a lot about subconscious trauma. Um, like I said in the short that I did, the last short that I did, subconscious trauma, our infant years are really one of the most formative years. Our infant to toddler, and maybe our complete childhood, but I would say those infant to toddler years are definitely really important periods. Um, and I know that in the last short, I was talking about how I grew up with parents who fought a lot. They separated when I was 3. Um, and while I don't really remember the circumstances, I don't remember any of the fighting, I know from stories that I've heard that I was definitely aware of it. And I was definitely involved, not directly, obviously, but I was there when it was happening. Um, I Whenever I'm around a disagreement or an argument, even if it's me who's involved, if I'm having an argument with another person, I get very anxious, very anxious. And it may even be, even if it's like a minor one, I hate it. It makes me crazy, but then again, I'm also obsessed with it in a weird way, and I'll look at like videos of people arguing, and that's something that's weird. It's like a weird, um, mechanism for me, emotional coping mechanism. And it might be because I was exposed to this at a young age, and while it is scary for me, it also is soothing in a weird way. Um, and then I know that in the early years of my stepfather and my mother's relationship, they used to fight a lot too, very bad. And I remember a little bit from that, not complete, but I remember, like, there are snippets that I can remember of them having arguments when I was around like 5, 6, um, and them fighting, and it was definitely bad, if not worse, than my parents. Um, but yeah, is something that I've been subjected to. And that is kind of like an example of it. And when I got kicked out, when I had the argument with my mom, and even if I have a disagreement, because me and my dad here, I'm at my dad's house, this is the last night, we've had some disagreements before in this house, about different things, and I'm trying to keep the peace. Not that, because if I was living here long term, then that's a different story. But I just need this place, to get on my feet, which will be happening last day here tomorrow. But I just need that, kind of peace, so there's no issues, so I don't get kicked out again. Even though there are a lot of things that happen here that bother me, I would much rather wait. And depending on how this location goes, it is a family friend. Um, I am not really. I really want to stay away from my parents, not completely, but like away from them so I can build my own life. I do want to go back to college, and my credit's all screwed up, so I am probably going to have to rely on them for a loan, for a student loan. It's probably for my dad because my mom is not going to sign it, or if she did, I wouldn't be surprised. But I may have to rely on him for a student loan this year. And then on top of that, I also have to balance school with work, which is something that I've done before. But the whole going to school in person, which is what I want to do right now, that's going to be hard to figure out, and definitely not easy, because I have to work full time, and I'm lucky that I make really good money at the job that I do. But in terms of like productivity, I have like ups and downs where, a few months I feel really productive, I feel really strong, and then the other couple months I'm just like, I feel so sluggish and I don't want to be there. And what I'm starting to notice is that I'm going back into that phase, at this current store that I'm at right now. And I'm hoping that maybe a new environment will kind of push me, away from that, and it's a much bigger store, so it shouldn't be that worse. The other issue with our Trader Joe's store is that it's very small, like very small, and especially during the holiday season, you can't get by. I mean, we had a blizzard a few days ago, and then we also had a football game on the same day. The back room was packed, and I thought I was going to lose it on some people. Like, there was no room to go back and forth, and everybody was kind of, upset and mad and, in a bad mood, which I get it. Like, there's a lot of stuff back here. There's way too much. But I get it. So I'm hoping that if I do end up transferring, it's not complete yet, but if I do end up transferring to Foxborough, I'm hoping that that will give me that leverage and that it will be okay, essentially. And I know that I went off on a tangent here, but it's all good. I don't really care. I just hope that this resonates with someone, even if it doesn't. And even if it doesn't, even if, these videos don't ever, no one ever finds these videos, I still want to keep this for myself, for me to look at years later, because that's important to me, and hopefully it will help someone else. I'm trying to think. Subconscious trauma. I think it's hard to, and this kind of ties into being criticized a lot, when you're met with your feelings aren't valued. That's what I want to talk about. The fight that I had with my mother was originally about laundry, because she is a control freak. She doesn't want me to do anything in the house. Because of, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that my stepfather was the way that he was with me, and she doesn't want to repeat that trauma or whatever, but it gets to a point where, like, I've done my own laundry, I can handle it, like, I want to do my own laundry. The other thing is the basement is full of mold in that house, and yeah, it's just a mess down there. And I think since I've been gone, my clothes has finally smelled okay. Like, every time they come out of that dryer, they'd smell like mold. And it was gross. And I know that people could smell it on me. I think talking, like, whenever I would come to her about an issue, if I was stressed out, it would get invalidated. And the same thing happens with my dad. You know, if I'm like, I'm stressed out with money, I'm stressed out with school, well, I would get hit with, oh, well, I'm stressed out more than you are. So therefore, my feelings are invalidated because I'm not as stressed out as you. I don't have as much responsibility as you, which I would beg to differ. I have different responsibilities in different ways, but I need to be equal for me to have stress. And that is just not okay with me at all. And if I ever have kids, they're never gonna have to hear that from me, because that's just abusive and it's toxic, and that would just teach any other kid that they don't have feelings and that they shouldn't stand up for themselves, because every time they do, they get hit with that. And that's not okay with me, and it really shouldn't be okay with anyone else. But unfortunately, you're gonna have those dictator parents that are like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm this, you gotta listen to me, I know everything. You gotta listen to me. You gotta be exactly like me. You gotta be better than me. I don't want to be better than you. I want to be me. I want to be my own person. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like you. I don't care to be like you. This is my life. Sorry, there's someone. I'm just making sure my dad's not home, because if my dad's home, I'm gonna have to end this video. Okay, so I don't think it was him. Probably some other neighbor. But yeah, it's important to get to, the bottom of that stuff. And this kind of all ties into being yourself, being your true self, embracing your authentic self. And yeah, I'm going to end it here because I lost my train of thought. But, I know that this video was kind of all over the place, but I hope that, you enjoy it and it resonates with someone. Thank you.